Today, I'm going to show you how to set up an Australian or overseas organisation in Rover. Once an organisation has been created, you'll be able to manage the details of the organisation, including making applications on behalf of the organisation, managing their approvals, recalls, payments, and more. Start by clicking the Authority to Act button. Then click on the Record Authority to Act button here, which takes you to a form that you need to complete in order to create your organisation in Rover. This should only be used the first time the organisation is created in Rover. Once the organisation exists in Rover, you can self-manage your organisation's account. I recommend you watch our videos on how to use the self-manage functions. On this screen, what you want to do is select Record an Authority for a new organisation. When you are first recording the authority to act for the organisation, you'll need to determine whether your own authority will be standard access or limited access. However, if you want to self-manage the organisation once it is set up in Rover, you'll need to select standard access. For this demonstration, I'm going to choose the standard access option. You'll see that the end date automatically defaults to 2 years' time. You can change this if you want to. Then add the primary contact details for your organisation, including email address and phone number, as these are mandatory fields. This will be the primary contact details that the department will use if we need to contact you in relation to your activities in Rover, including applications and approvals. The email address will be used when we need to send you important documents such as decision notices. Once your organisation is set up in Rover, you can change these details in the portal at any time. There's a field to add your website address if you want to as well. If you are an Australian organisation, you'll need to tick Yes and provide your ABN or ACN. We use the ABN or ACN as what we call a primary key, so that if anyone else wishes to represent your organisation and provides the same ABN or ACN, the system won't create multiple organisations. This will make it easier for you to manage your organisation's relationship with the department via the Rover portal. First, I'll take you through what to do if you have an ABN or ACN, and then I'll take you through the process if you don't. Click Yes. Then enter the name into this field and click the Search button. Then click on your organisation's legal name, which will populate the below fields with your organisation's details. This information about your organisation will be drawn from ABN Lookup. You will see that it isn't editable as it is drawn from your legal representation of your organisation. You'll now need to give yourself functions. Functions are a way of controlling what a user can do in Rover on behalf of an organisation or individual. There are 4 key functions for a standard user, being Account Admin, Applications, Approvals, and Recalls. You'll need to give yourself at least one of these functions. If you want to manage your organisation moving forward, Account Admin is required. If you want to be able to submit and manage applications, then select Applications. If you want to manage approvals once they've been granted, then you'll need Approvals. If you want to be able to manage recall reporting on behalf of your organisation, you'll need Recalls. If this is the first time your organisation is being set up in Rover, we recommend that the user setting up the organisation has Account Admin access so that they can manage the organisation's details and establish additional authorities to act for other users in the organisation if required. Once you've done this, click the arrow to go to the next page. However, before we move on to the next page, I'm quickly going to take you through what you need to do if you don't have an ABN or ACN. This may be because your organisation is based offshore without a profile with the Australian Taxation Office. Once you've clicked No, you'll see 3 mandatory fields appear. First, provide the legal trading name. Then, in the Entity Identification Number field, provide a recognisable identifier which has been issued by the country where your organisation was incorporated. And then add the country of incorporation. You'll need to provide a certificate of registration or incorporation or equivalent from the relevant authority in the country of incorporation. The identification number here is still the primary key in the rover system. If you want to set up one organisation to operate across multiple jurisdictions around the globe, you'll need to use the same entity identification number every time. If someone uses a different number, it will create a different organisation in Rover. Now I'll just click back to the version where I have an ABN or ACN and click the arrow button to continue. On this page, you enter your principal place of business. When you start typing in the address line, it starts bringing up addresses which you can select from. If the address is not found, you can manually enter it. Then click the arrow to go to the next page on authorization. This is the last part of setting up your organisation. You'll need to provide a letter of authority, which is a signed letter from a representative of the organisation giving you authority to act on their behalf. There's more information on the requirements for this letter on our website. If the letter you provide does not meet these requirements, it can cause delays in the department activating your authority to act. Once you have the letter, click the Upload New button. Choose the file from its location, and you should find the upload process pretty quick. If you find you've uploaded the wrong letter, you can easily delete it and upload a new one. If required, you can also add additional letters by clicking this plus button. You'll then need to read and accept the declaration and submit the form by clicking the Record Authority to Act button. Once submitted, an officer in the department will assess your application. Once the information you provided has been verified, your authority to act will be granted and you will receive an email confirmation. If they have any questions, they will come back to you using the contact details you provided. When you next log into Rover and view the Authority to Act screen, you will see a list of all the authority to acts you have. For example, in here, I can see the organisation that I just set up in this demonstration, as well as all the functions I selected. If you want to, you can now click on the organisation name to self-manage the organisation. The video on how to self-manage an organisation in Rover is also available. And that's how you set up an organisation in Rover. For more information on how to use Rover, visit the department's website or watch more videos on the department's Vimeo channel.